Okay, this video is just showing you what the coronavirus data phase 2 should look like. So you would compile it. And I don't want you to change the name of the class at all, right? It's got to be coronavirus data. You've already turned in coronavirus data, of course, for phase 1. But I've already graded it, etc. So there's no need to save phase 1. If you want to save one, you could save it as some other class name or some other file. But here we're just building on top of what we did before. So again, it's coronavirus data. Make sure that you're using data3.txt. Data3.txt should be the text file. And then when you run it, it's going to look like this. So I'll run it a couple of times. Here I am again using data3.txt. I've got a max. It starts out as being as New York. Notice that the dates are changing down here, and everything is scaled according to New York until the middle of July, and then California overtakes that. Everything is scaled according to California's number of recorded coronavirus cases. And we're keeping a running total. So this running total is not just the total of these 5 states, it's actually the total of all the states. So you'll need to keep track of that. Let's run it again. Notice that in the background the scale is changing, right? It's changing pretty quickly. It'll kind of eventually level off. It's every 50K, then it's every 100K. And of course, even though it looks like New York is staying where it is, you can see that it's growing because the scaling is changing in the background. So the scaling is very important to show the growth. I don't care if California is 1st or 3rd or 5th. I don't care where Florida is. I just decided to do it in alphabetical order, but the ordering is not that important. The width of my frame is 1250 and the height is 750. And yours doesn't have to be like that, but just kind of as a frame of reference, that's what I use, 1250 by 750. Let's run it one more time. So you'll notice the numbers are pretty small to start out with. New York, again, goes out pretty quickly. We're keeping a running total, right, of all states and territories, right? This is not just these 5. And again, California eventually overtakes New York. And notice that these 5 states kind of take up the upper half. Some of you were kind of dropping down a little further and using up some of the space down here in the bottom half. And I'd prefer that you not do that. You'll see why when we get to phase 3 in a couple of months. But you want these rectangles just to be on the top half and using up most of the space vertically or horizontally, I should say, on the sides. Let's run it just one more time to see it. Again, you'll have to enable double buffering. You're going to have to use a clear to clear the screen every time, and then you're doing show and pause every time you're working through this. Again, it's data3.txt is the text file that we are using. That's the one that we're using. It's on my Schoology page. You can obtain it there. And oh, I should also mention that the dates in the text file, they don't say August or September or June. You're going to have to use numerical values, and then you're going to have to set up either a switch with cases to translate the numbers into words, or you could use an if-else chain. And I don't want you to use an array for that. Remember, the rules for arrays still stand. I only want an array size of 5 as your max if you are using an array. I don't want arrays bigger than that, so that you can't use an array for the months. All right, I think that about covers it. Happy coding.